Hi guys, let's talk about the origami art installation project. So this is a week-long project. It's something that I expect a lot of time and effort to go into. So let's talk about the details and show you lots of different examples. So first off, let's talk about origami, where I'm going to show you how to make a bunch of origami butterflies. I will have little sheets that show you the instructions. I will also do a video to help you out. But for this, you're going to want to make a lot, at least 10 of the origami butterflies. I'd recommend doing a lot more. It depends on what sort of design you're going to do, but minimum requirement is going to be 10. Now let's talk about the other part of the title, installation. So installation art is three-dimensional works of art that are often site-specific and designed to transform the perception of a space. So really what that means is they keep the space in mind as they attach their artwork to it. They're usually semi-permanent, so they're going to last a while, but they're not going to be there forever. We see installation pieces usually tend to be quite large. They'll go up a wall, they'll come down from the ceiling, sometimes they'll be in the middle of the floor. So we're going to take this idea of installation art and the origami butterflies and we'll combine them together to make a really interesting piece of art that you can use to decorate parts of your house. Maybe your room, maybe a family room, I don't know, it's up to you guys. For your installation, first off, you do not have to glue stuff to your walls. There are many other ways that you can attach things that you won't get in trouble for. My advice, if you choose to do this project, ask your parents for help. Get their advice. So if you can't attach stuff to walls, which I'm totally down for, you don't have to, you can make a freestanding sculpture, so something that could stand on its own, or you could attach the pieces to a canvas and glue them and hang it up, or onto a piece of paper. So that way it can give that illusion of an installation piece without actually ruining your walls and getting you in trouble. I repeat, you do not have to glue stuff to walls. I don't want anybody getting in trouble for this. Also with this, you don't have to do butterflies. You can do any type of origami fold that you want. I just suggest that it's a recognizable object. So maybe bugs or the birds, cranes, flowers, things like that. You wouldn't want it just to be a random folded piece of paper. You want it to actually be something. That's what makes this a bit more interesting. Now, my instructions when I post stuff on how to do the origami is going to be for the butterflies. So feel free to use those, but you're welcome to do your own research. You guys know how to use the internet. Search up different designs, do your own thing. I am fine with that. So let's go into some examples and things that you can really focus on. So this is a cool example of an installation piece with the origami butterflies. This person really focused on color. So when you're making your butterflies, you can start with construction paper to give your butterflies some bright, bold colors. I also suggest and kind of require you to decorate your pieces somehow, so you can draw on them after you make them as well. But adding color can really create something interesting. You see how this person had their butterflies look like they're flying up and over the wall. They even did it in color wheel order, which I personally love, but you don't have to do that. Unity is going to be a big word for this project. Unity means that some parts of the art are the same, and you see that part repeated over and over again, so it unifies the whole piece together. That means it's all really working together. It creates one cohesive piece of art. So I recommend that you unify your piece by using the same colors and designs over and over. So with this, there are lots of butterflies you gotta make. So I'd recommend repeat a color, repeat a shape, maybe repeat a decoration you put onto it. That's going to help make your piece really work together as a whole. Another thing to keep in mind is shape. So you can use your butterflies to create a shape by putting many together, then have it look like they are flying away. So this person did kind of the illusion of a heart by making those butterflies fill the shape. And then off to one side, you see they get a lot farther apart, and then it's like they're flying away from it. That could be a really cool way to create a finished piece for this. Also, if you look, it's hard to tell, but it is on a gray piece of, looks like board, maybe some cardstock of some sort. So this person didn't attach it to the wall. They made it its own separate piece of art, and that is fine. Um, I call this one organized chaos. So I really like how this one starts with it really organized in the center. They're lined up perfectly to create that spiral coming out, and as it gets farther and farther out, they start to spread out. As they spread out, they're not quite as organized anymore, but you still get that swirl. I think that adds some really cool interest to this design, how it goes from perfectly lined up to more spread out. Okay, so there's another shape design you could do. Now, you can do this as a sculpture. It doesn't have to be on a wall. So you can use a wire or fishing line, things like that, to attach your butterflies to. You can have them hanging down from something with the fishing line, or coming up out of something with some wire. You can use that to give that illusion of flying. You would just glue your butterflies onto it. This person did them coming out of a book. They could be coming out of anything. I think that could be a really interesting way to make a sculpture out of this design. Now lastly would be kind of a terrarium. Now a terrarium is when you have an enclosed space. Usually it's kind of like a little tiny environment. They have plants, things are growing. Now terrariums can also be faked. You can use fake plants, things like that. They're usually in sort of a glass dome or container of some sort. So what if you gave your butterflies an environment of a place to actually stay, a place to live? That could be a really interesting way to make it a little bit more creative. Now remember, you do have to have at least 10 of your origami folds. So maybe you have a bunch on the inside and then they're spilling out the side somehow. That could be kind of interesting. So your requirements for this project: you must have at least 10 folded origami objects, butterflies or something else. For most designs, I would recommend doing way more than 10, but 10 is a minimum. Okay? Your origami pieces must be decorated to enhance the design, so you can use colored paper, you can draw designs in marker, other materials. You want them to be more interesting. As you see this guy here that I've created, this was done on white paper. I colored it with yellow marker and black marker to make it more interesting. It's going to be way cooler looking. Now this one, I put in way more effort than this one, so it definitely looks a lot cooler. I didn't even finish the back of this one. But adding those extra colors and designs is what's going to really make your piece look better, more finished and polished. You obviously have to arrange your pieces to create a piece of art. Things should be glued down and attached somehow, whether it's wire, whatever. You don't want to have it so you pick it up and it just falls apart. You want it to be stable. And make sure it's a cohesive piece that really works together as a whole. Then lastly, put it in the location. So installation's all about where you put it. So put it up in your room, put it up wherever. I want at least 3 pictures of it. 1 picture from far away showing everything, and 2 pictures of it really close up showing those extra details. Alright, so now that I've gone over the steps for this, guys, I will start making some videos of how to make the butterflies. So come back later to see those steps.